Hello, my name is Silas Atekfo. I'm an Amazonian activist. Uh, I want to talk about the HR 358, which that Ms. Bass is sponsoring with together with other representatives. A lot of my other comrades have spoken about this bill, this resolution, and it continues to make waves amongst our people. And I would like to also chip in on what the problematics of these resolutions are that concerns that makes Amazonians very concerned, and to look at this resolution as a half measure or not far-reaching enough, and may not, I would say may not, like a really big may like 90% may not fix anything at all, may just also end up to be another piece of paper which we strongly pray that it doesn't become. This resolution doesn't actually go to the root cause of the issue, and it has been said time and time again by every actor in this conflict that the only way to solve these problems is to go back to the root cause of the issue. I just want to read what the first paragraph of this resolution says, and that is the very beginning of the problematics, which you may have heard a lot of Amazonians raising concerns about this bill, and it is good that we have these discussions so that maybe before it's ever passed, if it does, probably other senators or Ms. Bass herself might want to make some corrections or adjustments to this before it's finally done. Let me just read the first paragraph after the title, which says, whereas many Anglophone Cameroonians have long felt marginalized by official actions and policies of the government of Cameroon, including the abolition of the federal form of government, which was the constitutional basis under which English-speaking Southern Cameroons entered into the Union, and placing it with a unitary state dominated by the Francophone majority. Ms. Bass, this is actually the root cause of the problem, which your resolution totally have misrepresented, because it is not just the federal system of government that is the problem. The main problem of the Southern Cameroonians today, it is their identity as Southern Cameroonians. That is the main problem of the Southern Cameroonians today. It is a question of identity, sovereignty of our territory as well. So the identity of the Southern Cameroonian is what has been lost, and which is the root cause of all the problems that we currently experience. The only reason why this Francophone domination was able to exist is not because of the federal system, Ms. Bass. The reason why this domination and marginalization, if you want to put it that way, why it came into place, it was because of the failure, the transfer of power from Britain to the Southern Cameroonians was not properly done. There's never been a union agreement between Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroun. So in all good faith, Ms. Bass, you cannot refer to a union with French Cameroon or La République du Cameroun as the basis for which this conflict can be solved. So the root causes of this issue dates back to and independence that was the granting of independence that was not properly done, but instead of independence, a colonization of southern Cameroon was effectuated. That is what happened, and it's the problem of that decolonization from French Cameroon that is the problem. What is the question today is the question of the southern Cameroon's identity and territorial integrity, and not the question of a Cameroon federation. Most of southern Cameroonians today can only go back to history and see the injustice that was done while the world watched. So that is the first problematic with that paragraph. I also just want to rush down to where that is the third paragraph, which says, whereas in 2017, separatists launched a campaign to pressure school officials in the northwest and the southwest regions to go on strike as part of a boycott against the government of Cameroon, and reportedly began burning schools, school buildings, threatening education officials with violence if they did not comply with the boycott, and kidnapping for ransom children, kidnapping for ransom children and teachers who defy the boycott. I also would like to make this correction, Ms. Baz. Separatists, if you, or whatever that means, it probably means something different to you. But the boycott of schools was a union action. Was a union action by the teachers and the lawyers, and that boycott continued. It was never called for by separatists, whatever that means, because the rest of Amazonians are restorationists, and we are not separating from anybody. We just want our identity and our statehood to be recognized. That is what we are trying to do here. And I just want to point out that it was the school boycott was a trade union action by the teachers themselves, who felt that the colonial French Cameroon system of education was not befitting to the system under which Amazonian or Southern Cameroonian children were brought up in, and so it didn't fit the culture. It was lower standards, and that had to be changed. The whole dynamics of restoration is different from these trade union actions. That had really very little or nothing to do with the identity of the Southern Cameroonian and their sovereignty, which restorationists are today asking for, if you prefer to call them separatists. So these two issues are the main reason why, Ms. Bass, if this point is mishandled, then your good intentions of solving these problems may not be realized. Because if without handling this root cause, that it is the question of nationality, it is the question of identity, and the question of sovereignty. Once this is missed, then we immediately start solving the problem, not from the root causes as have been advised by every expert who have studied this conflict. So by this, Ms. Bass, I'm urging the sponsors of this resolution to look again and try to find ways to fix this resolution before it gets through. It is not far-reaching enough, and it doesn't address the root causes of the issue, because the root cause of the issue, Ms. Bass and other co-sponsors, it is about this nationality, sovereignty of the Southern Cameroonian independence that was that was stolen at the very granting of independence. If justice must be done to history, if sincere solutions must be accomplished, then these root causes, Ms. Baz, must appear on this resolution to make it strong enough and not say put a band-aid on a fracture simply may not heal. So those are the concerns that many Southern Cameroonian, many Ambazonian activists like myself. There are other questions in there that some of my other colleagues have raised and continue to raise that I will not dive too much into, but I wanted to use this opportunity to make a comment on this resolution. Truly, the intentions of this resolution is geared honestly to solve a problem, but if the problem is not addressed completely, much effort will be wasted, but the solution will not be attained. But I bet you that these same resources that Ms. Baz, Mr. Smith of New Jersey, Mr. Kine, Mr. Wahlberg, Mr. Castro of Texas, Mr. Middle, Ms. Omar, and Mr. Wright are submitting to Congress would make a better impact if it was if it addressed the root causes of this issue. That is how we can fix this problem permanently. That is what I find problematic with this resolution. Several other activists are commenting on this, and I hope that my commentary adds to the conversation and the debate that can help us together find solutions to the problem. I salute the American people and the all Congress members who are actively trying to resolve this problem, and I want to say that we can only solve these problems together with the Amazonian people. Trying to solve this problem without consulting with the Amazonian people will not completely solve this problem. We must say that the question of Cameroon's electoral problem, it's something which is way different from the current problem that the current genocide that is happening in Amazonia, and tying this genocide to an electoral problem too, like the Maurice Kamto, sometimes just makes it so convoluted that adequate solutions may not be reached because the problems are so different. So solving this problem in a specific manner, like intervening in genocide, that would be the best way to go, Ms. Bass, to solving the human rights violation. Treating this as a genocide is the best way to solve the human rights violation, and not attach it with electoral issues in Cameroon. Southern Cameroonians or Ambazonians did not participate in any elections that brought Maurice Kamto to question the electoral process. So we want the human rights abuses in Ambazonia to be solved. We have, since this resolution focuses on human rights abuses, let's handle the genocide, and the questions about federation doesn't apply to the Southern Cameroonians at this point. If that be the case, we must go back to the depth of history and actually handle the root causes of this problem. Thank you. Again, I hope this adds to the conversation in a positive manner, in a solution-oriented manner. God bless Ambazonia, and God bless the United States of America. My name is Silas Atekfo.